It's me again, Amanda right here. Today I'm gonna be playing the Stanley Parable by something Cafe. Galactic Cafe, thank you. By Galactic Cafe. Today I'm gonna be playing the Stanley Parable by let's get started. Cafe. Galactic Cafe, thank you. Hopefully the game volume isn't too loud. I guess we'll see that when we how where game there. Hello? Yeah, but it is loading, but yeah, did it crash? I wonder who I'm talking to is my friend Annie, who's staying here today. Right there she is. Are you sure it hasn't crashed? There we go. Thank you. You're right, it really takes a while. The end is never the end. Is never the end. Is never the end. Is loading. Never. Alright.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-lifting, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained
Is the volume alright?
he got up from his desk and stepped
Could be louder. Alright. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna turn the volume up and then add subtitles. Audio, video, extras? Audio, closed caption. Thank you. Subtitles only. Not deaf. Resume the game. And boost the volume a bit. That should do it. Alright. Oh, thank you. Like, does it pop up when I can interact with something? Oh, alright.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed.
Oh!
Days.
No!
Days gone by. He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing
All
he
right.
knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they
Don't I go home at night?
Soon,
Do I live here in my tiny box?
he will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Ah! Oh well. So just heading out the door then. Hello? No doors open, alright?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
No, I don't want to go to the I really slide when I walk. Like... What does it say? Something month? Hey.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Who farted? Or is it just super sensitive? Oh! Whee. What? I did a thing! Seriously, is it super sensitive? Like, I press a little bit and I just wah! Almost ran through the walls. Whee. But stop telling me everything, Annie!
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Aye.
he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Oh. Oh, just the sound of the door click.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Oh,
Stanley
sassy.
simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Ah, thirsty.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Found it.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
What's out here? I wonder where they all went. Will cause death.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley left the platform and...
Yep. I did.
You are very powerful.
Good job, Stanley. Very powerful.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, this is fun. Just trying it out.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Office party! How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let's see here. We have our new product. Slides charts. Shush and slides. Work harder, hard worker.
Stanley just stood there doing nothing at all. He seems to think I have nothing better to do with my time than to sit around and describe every fascinating little detail of his inability to do anything. This is why Stanley and I are on such good terms.
Fine.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Can I
There was nothing
close the door
here.
after me?
No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom.
Ah, calm. Let's just chill out in here. Can't I just...
Baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Let's head out.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Wee. 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 Yeah, the game really tells you what to
Stanley
do.
just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in
Almost
such
spilled
a
the coffee
competitive
here.
economy, why had he
The
taken
clue.
that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy.
Exit.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of
Oh, I'm going in
existence a single
circles.
moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation.
Where's
His
the exit?
co-workers weren't actually gone.
Where did I go in?
His job
How do I go out?
after all.
Am I stuck in here now?
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well
But-
do this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying.
Oh god, I'm
Began to
stuck in
gently
here now.
float above the ground.
This is an ending, isn't it?
Then he imagined himself
Whee!
soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that of course, this was not it. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control. That this was a dream.
Oh my god.
So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job.
Oh, does he have a wife?
My life exactly the way
So can't he just leave the office and go see his wife?
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Huh?
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Okay. Alright.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Huh?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Oh
And
dear.
although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man make
I wonder if this game changed the
Then
business.
she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day.
This game, I wonder if it changed the business. Because it's really every choice you make inflicts the story.
The rest of her life.
Yeah.
She had no time for this.
Yeah, I
So it
figure
was
it's the
only a
point of the
moment
game.
that she stood there, staring down, and then she turned and ran.
Yep, and now it's over. No. Figured.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Does the narrator's voice change? No. Depending on how often I do it.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business,
Yeah, I
Stanley
think
took
so.
the first
It
open
changes.
door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Huh? But
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake. No, not the right. Why
What?
would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on a minute, please?
What?
Went down, right, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Sure. alright.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to...
Oh dear.
Oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track,
Alright.
From the top.
I'm sorry, narrator. Sorry. Don't be angry at me. I'll go exactly as you said this time, alright?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I will go straight to the meeting room, I promise.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Or did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking
Oh, this is like Layers of Fear.
story?
Such comedy.
Here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere.
Ooh. Also, Layers of Fear is great.
It's an
I give it an 8
Come, Stanley.
out of 10.
Let's find the story.
Oh, all the doors are open. Oh dear. What's in here? Ooh. Hello? Oh. This room, I don't know. But
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on.
yeah, me too.
There definitely was a story here before. Restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
How did I break the game?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Whee.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yep, I obviously just missed a memo. Alright.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I must be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, yeah. There's just computers here.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
What?
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Alright. I'm kind of trusting on you, narrator. But...
Now this... Well,
oh, we're retracing it too far back, don't we?
Is this the story?
Yep.
I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
I do remember.
Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Yay!
Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Thank you! Thank you!
No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Nope.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
I agree.
Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Okay, let's restart. Yet again. Let's do it. Oh!
All right,
Stanley.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Thank you! Ah, this really helps.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
To destiny!
Here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
I just can't! I just can't!
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Oh.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Alright. Feel like he's just gonna yell out, "Got you!" Let's just take a look at this fern then for a while. It's got leaves. It's green. It's bushy. Clearly a fern. Yes. Had this been layers of fear, I would turn around and see something. There's a claw. Have I looked at this fern enough?
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
But oh!
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Well, I can't take this anymore, to hell with it.
Oh, God. I don't trust you.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're
Yeah, you agree.
intelligent people, right?
We are.
Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
A door opened. Oh, okay. Oh, there. I like that me and the narrator are friends now.
This is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Okay, then I want a unicorn. It's a pony unicorn. Or a hippo with a horn.
Not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Then I don't... Nope. Nope! Or... I guess I could just... not follow it. Then...
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
okay.
Here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity.
Alright.
I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley. Our destiny awaits.
Yes, narrator. Whee! Oh.
Oh, hold up. What's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a
Find a
say in all of this?
bookstore.
Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting.
Well,
I
you
don't
and me
wanna forget
both.
What's going on? I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule?
Well, both the doors led in here.
Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
Yes, a long time passes and I just died.
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree?
It kind of
I'm not
is.
quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we?
I guess.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Well, in the meantime,
Oh. Am I out of the confusion ending now? Yeah, okay. Now I just want to do everything perfectly. Let's just do whatever he says.
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps
Yep.
he had simply missed a message.
Meeting room. Yep, will do. Will do. Let's just go straight to the meeting room.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Yep, going straight there. And there's nothing here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Ooh. Wow. Fancy. Executive level. Awesome. The game is really simple. It must run on a really simple engine.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who
Well, we can always have
this.
some champagne.
What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened
Oh. Exciting. Oh. Oh. Oh, there's nothing in here. Too bad. No! Please don't bring me back there. That was an ending? Alright, it's just a loading screen, hopefully.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Ooh. This office.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the
Oh,
large door
dear.
that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Funny, you spell just like the word escape.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with televisions.
Look there!
What horrible
That's where I
secret
was.
did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
This game sort of really manipulates the person playing. Ooh, cameras.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh dear.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his
Probably.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yes.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
And where did
His
everyone
own
go?
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Yep, will do. Da, 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 da. I will do it.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Eh?
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go
Sorry.
and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. This is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have
Let's
so
go
little
back to the
time left
escape.
enjoy it. Mere moments
Me
until
out.
the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is.
But
More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means.
oh,
Let's
where
start.
did I get in?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated?
Please.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway.
I
I'll
bet
tell
there's
you
a way
this.
to disable this thing.
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm
Kidding me? There's a failsafe?
the next go around will be even better. My goodness.
How do I?
34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are
No.
precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
No!
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it on? I mean, look at you, running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's
What just
seconds
happened?
ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you claim death?
Is there even a way to figure this out?
Or will you let it go peacefully?
1,
Another choice. Make it count.
2.
It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in.
I don't wanna explode.
Happily ever up.
Ow. Is there even a way to solve that? Oh. I guess I can just try to turn it off next time.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Or just escape. Both.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room. And Stanley
Let's do
knew
nothing,
it
he
well.
says, for a while.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Nope.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
But now I can't really go up onto the platform, right?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Yes, you
I
are.
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What?
Whoa.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Yep.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help.
Well,
you.
in one
I'll show
ending he
you
was my
something
friend, and
beautiful.
in the other he tried to blow
Let
me
me
up.
prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No!
I still don't
Up.
think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
No!
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written
Sorry.
out specifically for you?
You're really good at guilt tripping. She's like, I'm so sorry I ruined your
In
story.
the end, it was all
Sorry.
for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback.
Alright.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew